Me, it is your boy, it is the Cyber Warrior. This is Cyber Warrior Studios, and as always, we are presenting Security Happy Hour live here, right now. And yeah, I know y'all missed a 2-minute warning, but it's okay. You'll deal with it. Until we get into it, though, guess what? We will be right back. All right, and welcome back, everybody. Now, as always, you know me. I got to have my partner in crime, my friend, the Cyber Papa, Eric Bellardo. Eric, how's it going today, brother?
Woo, come on. Some clapping or something. All right, there you go. Thank you. It's going amazing. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Cheers, Shannon.
Cheers.
Hey, Shannon. Cheers.
Oh, I hate you so much.
So it's been a wonderful, wonderful week. We announced our 9th chapter of Raíces Cyber. So that's very, very exciting. Now we have chapters in California, Philadelphia, and the latest one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, reaching out new people. So we're extremely excited. And I'm going to give a shout out to our friend, all of our friends, Philip Wiley, for having me on his podcast today. So that was really exciting. And I'm super happy to see Shannon here. I haven't seen her in a while. And Shannon, we're going to Defcon, right?
Yes, I'm so excited.
See, I just got my flag today.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I need to get one.
So that's I'll see you there, and we'll do an interview when we're there at our village on the Flamingo.
Yes.
So
awesome. I can't wait.
Nice. All right. Now, so for those of you who don't know, Shannon Morse has been a friend of mine for quite some time now. I tease her all the time with my Yingling beer, and we will get into that here in a little bit. But she was actually on an episode back when I was pre-recording these before I started going live all the time, which if you're on YouTube is in the description below. So make sure you check that out after this show. But saying that, Shannon, we're not going to get into all about you because I want people to go check out that other episode if they haven't done so yet. But I do want to talk about the very first topic that we discussed, and that's taking breaks. Now, as I understand it, you yourself recently have had to take a mental health break from a lot of what you've been got going on. You've traveled, you've been doing all this stuff. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I actually ended up taking a hiatus from speaking, from going to events, and from my own YouTube channel. Like I had one video coming out every month. I was still doing ThreatWire on the Hack5 channel because that's my main source of income. So I had to have that coming in. But I decided to take a break from my main tech channel, which is more for consumer-oriented tech reviews, security and privacy tutorials and how-tos. Just because I felt like I was so bogged down with everything going on in the world. I feel like what was happening with Ukraine earlier this year and still ongoing right now affected me for some weird reason. And maybe it's because I'm constantly talking about cyber attacks and cyber news, and a lot of it's really negative. So I just decided to take a mental health break. And I think it was really good for me to do that. And I often feel like a lot of people in our industry never take breaks and are constantly working 24/7, and you end up having 80-hour work weeks, and it's just not healthy. And I felt like I was getting to that point with all the different channels that I work on, and I just needed to cut some things out for a while just so I felt like I was caught up and I was back to doing projects that I enjoyed, and I didn't feel like I was just barfing out content constantly just to keep up with the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you're a little different because I'm like someone who works a standard full-time job and then is a content creator on the side. You're a full-time content creator. So
yeah,
everything you do is, for consumers, for ThreatWire, for Sailor Snubs, and just everything. You were constantly putting out content. And so looking at that, I know for myself, when I first started doing this, it was very, very hard for me to do daily videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
And apologize, everybody. I've got my son yelling at me. Hold one second.
Welcome to the world of podcasting from home. You should see when my dog comes into the room and just starts yelling at me to go outside. I'm like, okay. But she doesn't understand I'm recording, so I can't stop and tell her.
Right. So,
well, I do the same thing to him, and I understand that.
Derek, I know the pain.
Derek.
Yeah.
Derek.
Get out of here. I love you, homie. You're my partner in crime.
I'm so glad it's Friday night.
Right. So I know the pain.
Yeah, so you know what it feels like.
Yeah, because I was, where you put out content nonstop, I was working full time, and then on top of that, trying to put out content every day.
Yeah.
And as anybody who has followed me from the beginning, which I don't know, maybe a lot of people, maybe very little people, I had a whole slew of shows that I did every day, and it just got to be too much.
Yeah.
I literally broke and could not do anything for a few weeks.
It's
so I can only
hard.
It is, and I can only imagine what you go through, because I do video editing on top of everything that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm. I'm very fortunate in the fact that I have an editor for ThreatWire, but that's the only show I have an editor for. So like if I'm doing a very intensive 17-minute, I don't know, review on my channel that requires me to record 60 plus takes of B-roll plus the A-roll of me like standing there and giving my script, and then I have to edit all that stuff together, it's going to take me a good 8 to 10 hours just to edit it. So it's a lot of work. And I think when you're talking about content creation, I would argue that the YouTube algorithm does not give us a break. And a lot of times audiences don't either. They don't understand how much effort goes into creating content constantly. And it's not just on YouTube, but it's also making sure that you're creating content on Twitter and creating content on IG and LinkedIn for you. Like you're constantly on LinkedIn. I don't even know how you do it. I don't know how LinkedIn works. Like
I'm everywhere. And that's the funny part, Shannon, is this is where I'm different. And this is why I personally think I will, to the levels of you or the bearded IT dad who's in chat and so many others, I don't, I guess, pander to the algorithm, right? I do some things that kind of meet that mental, like, oh, they got to see this color or this logo or they're looking for this thing. But if I start doing way too much of that, I feel like I'm losing myself. I feel like it's not authentic to who I am.
Yeah.
So for what I do, this is why I'm everywhere, because you know what? I'll never make money doing this, or at least that's the way I see it. But at the very least, or let me correct that, I won't make a living doing this. But
it's hard to make a living off of this.
Right?
Stuff. Trust me, I know.
But this is why, like my dad, when I reached out to him and I was like, hey, send this to he works in GRC, he works in cybersecurity. I was like, send this to your coworkers. He was like, is it on LinkedIn? I was like, no. So then I started putting it on LinkedIn, because then I was like, you know what? That's another group of people that I can reach.
Exactly.
And so I'm everywhere, and it spreads me thin, but I have the benefit of working a great job with a great company that allows me to make these posts and do these things. Because then as long as I'm doing something positive for the community, it looks good on that.
Yeah. And I think if you do end up going full time, whenever that happens, which I know it will, because you're making really incredible content especially for people in our industry, like it's very motivational and I love it. I know that once you get to that point, it will definitely be hard to break through. And there's this struggle that I went through as well when I was working a full-time job, but I was also doing Hack 5 at night. And sometimes we would like forget to turn on the audio, and then we would have to record until 2:00 in the morning and then go to work at 7 a.m. So like it was extremely tough. And there were some stressful nights when I was wondering, like, is it even worth it to keep on doing this? But I realized that creating content and doing something that is good for the industry and good for more than just the bank that I was working at was worth more to me than my full-time job. And it was that point where I was just like, I had this realization of, I feel like I could do this constantly. Like, this is so much fun. I love it. It's just so enjoyable. That's when I finally kicked it into gear and went full-time. And I've been doing it for so long, and I've never. This is the first year that I have ever felt like I had burnout, and it was so bad that I've only posted like 7 videos on my main tech channel since the beginning of the year, and I feel like that was. Yeah, only 7. That's it. Like I've posted some videos on my Sailor Snubs channel, and I've done weekly Threatwire episodes, but those 2 are fairly easy to create. Threatwire requires a day of research and writing and then recording, and the edit is given to somebody else to do, and then I shadow the edit and make sure it's good. And then I keep up with like the Discord and the Patreon, but it's relatively easy to do compared to my tech channel, where I have to do a lot more in-depth research in order to find all the answers to this tech review. Like I could review my what is this, an S22 Ultra or whatever it is, and I would have to do a full day of battery tests. And I would also have to do a full day of like gaming on it and do all sorts of testing on my own that's required to make sure that I'm doing my review correctly. And it just takes so much more time to do. And then the edit takes so long.
I just bought my S22 Ultra last weekend. Is it
Did
worth
you?
It? Actually,
yes,
I will vouch
in
for
the
Shannon. Right? I will vouch for Shannon. I have watched her reviews because she got her first iPhone, I think it was earlier this year or end of last year.
It was in 2020. My sister had some kids.
Already?
Yeah, it's the 12
yeah, that's
Pro
what mine
Max.
is. Yeah.
I still have it because it's really nice to have an iOS device on in my hands, just so I can test it back and forth between Android and see if there's any changes. But honestly, like I ain't gonna buy a 13 because I don't like Apple. I don't like iOS. I hate it. I hate the experience. It's terrible. But at least I can FaceTime with my sister and her kids. So there's that.
And my right.
So
that's
let me go back. Let me go back to the burnout stuff, because last year, 2021, in April, I ended up in the hospital because of burnout.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital for 5 days. So
oh my gosh.
It was really, that was bad. I was working, I was content creating. I was, had 23 teams that I was managing at work and doing the content creation, and we were starting the foundation, and but I never took time for myself.
Yeah.
What was the trigger for you? What was the one thing that you said, hell no, I got to stop right now?
I got sick in January for like 2 weeks, and I thought it was COVID, but I never got tested. So I don't know. I can't confirm that or not. And I'm fully vaccinated. So who knows? You could still get it, but at least it felt like a flu. But it lasted for such a long time, and it made me lose a lot of motivation. And when I started feeling better, I realized that I felt kind of depressed, and I felt like I still didn't want to get back into it. I didn't want to work. And that was kind of the trigger for me, where I realized like, oh my God, I think I'm experiencing burnout. Like, this is weird. I've never felt like this before. Like, what's going on?
Time in your life you finally hit.
Yeah, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit, because I was like, what if I never feel better? Like I was really, and that made me feel even worse. And then the YouTube algorithm starts not recommending your content as much, and that built on top of the depression and on top of the negative feelings that I was already experiencing. So all of it kind of just turned into this mountain of just feeling bad and having a lack of motivation and having negative energy just in myself, and having just needing to take a break and needing to have find my mental health again. I even called my mom, and she was like, are you okay? Like, are you experiencing cabin fever? Because now you live in a snowy place. Like, is that what's going on? And I was like, why do you say that? And she said, when we lived in Alaska, when we were kids, she had a lot of neighbors who experienced cabin fever in the wintertime. And she said, well, you've been living in the Bay Area for 10 years. You've never not been able to go outside and do whatever you want. So maybe you're experiencing this where you're just stuck inside so long and you don't have anybody to talk to. You work from home. So yeah, maybe you just need to get out. So I started hiking. I've been doing that every weekend, and that's really helped a lot.
I see that on IG every day, and I love it. Those pictures are awesome.
Oh my God, it's beautiful here. And now like the weather's better. I mean, today it's snowing, which
Today it's snowing, yeah.
did anybody tell Colorado that it's May 20th? Because Colorado, you didn't get the message. It's summertime. We just got patio furniture and it's snowing.
Oh man.
Well, we had in Philly, we had tornado warning today.
Oh no.
I had storms, I had rain. I still got out because at like 2:00 it stopped. And before the show, I cut my grass, I grilled some dinner, and so ours cleared up
lucky
in Pittsburgh.
you.
Look, Shannon, come to Pittsburgh. I'll get you some Yingling. We will have this chat at my bar, whether or not it's finished. We will talk again.
But if she comes,
also another way to bring up my mood is apparently my mother-in-law is driving out here because she just she's just retired, so she wants to come visit us. She's from Virginia, and I was like, "Will you just put like 6 cases of Yingling in your trunk and bring it out to us? We'll pay for it."
Well, Shannon, I'm in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yingling is in
Pottsville.
Philadelphia.
Pottsville, PA. Don't say Philly.
Can't you take a tour?
Yes.
Oh my God, I want to do that. That's like a life goal.
We'll go together, Shannon.
I'll wear my Yingling shirt and be like, I'm a fan.
I'm still trying to get Yingling to sponsor this show because I drink their beer almost every week.
Oh my God, you should.
I want them to sponsor it. I'd be all about it.
Hack 5 was sponsored once by Heineken, and there were many, many legal rules we had to go through. They were like, are you 21? Are you allowed to host with beer on the table? Like there were many, many restrictions around it. And they were like, what's the age of your audience? And we were like, how are we supposed to know? But we kind of figured it out with analytics. But yeah, it was a little scary. I was like, okay.
90, I'd say 90% of my audience is over the age of like 22. So
yeah,
I ain't even worried about it. But no, I really understand where you're coming from though, because there are several breweries within blocks of the Trash Panda Village. You would say that, Trash Panda.
Where is Trash Panda?
Philly.
In Philly.
But I've experienced burnout myself. And so, when I stopped doing it and I quit Motivation Mondays, probably one of the shows a lot of people enjoyed. I quit doing it. And I quit doing Tech Tuesdays, everything. And I kept doing Security Happy Hour until I moved. And then once I moved, got everything rebuilt, I was like, all right, I'll go back to Security Happy Hour. But then it was, hey, where's Motivation Monday? And so as someone who doesn't get a lot of views on the lower end shows like Tech Tuesday and Motivation Monday, I was kind of like,
he's not paying attention, Shannon.
I see the dog.
She booped. She booped the nose.
I booped him.
Hey, just don't boop anyone with murder mittens or murder talents. Just don't do it. But yeah, I don't. I get exactly where you're coming from because I wasn't going to go back into doing Monday and Tuesday shows. I was going to stick to this. Let this be my weekly show because this is my release. I love talking to people. Shannon, you know as well as I do, like this has been my let's talk to people. Let's enjoy it. Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Bearded IT Dad, if you go watch my old episode with Shannon and Davin after this, you'll get to
just
know that
answer the question. Stop.
What made me start YouTube? I fell into it. The Hack 5 crew was like, hey, we want you to host a video. Here's an idea. You should hack this thing and you should review this like open source video game. And I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. And I did it. And they were like, you're pretty good at this. And I was like, thanks. So I just kept on doing it. And I fell in love with it. And then I quit my full-time job working at a bank. That's like the Cliff Notes version.
It is the Cliff Notes version. I've heard the full version on a few occasions. And yes, you really need to go check out the episode with Shannon and Davin that's in the YouTube description after this. Because that is actually when Shannon called Davin her friend, and Davin gloated about it on Twitter.
Oh my gosh, Davin's so cute. It's adorable. Don't tell him I said that. He'll be like, "What? Guess what Shannon said?"
So let's talk a little bit. So we said we were going to talk about three different topics.
Yeah.
We're going to hit the second topic of the night because, beer is delicious.
Beer is good.
I know your favorite beer is Yuengling.
Yes, it is.
But so I know about you living in San Francisco. I know about you in Colorado. When did you first get your first taste of Yuengling?
It was right out of college when I moved into the Hack 5 house. And that was like all we bought. Like we would have, you know how you have your fridge and you have all your shelves? We would have one shelf dedicated to Yuengling like constantly. And if we ever like ran out or we went low, we would always restock that shelf. We would always have Yuengling. It was like a constant in that household. I loved it. It was great. It was a bachelor house, basically. I was living in a bachelor house, but it was so much fun. I had such a joy living there.
So here's a little backstory. I was never a beer drinker until I tasted Yuengling.
Oh, really?
I drank your malt liquors, your Smirnoffs, your
Mike's,
gross. all that really sweet,
like Smirnoff Ice.
Stuff. Yeah. But it had to be flavored. Smirnoff Ice was not the greatest, but the flavored ones were good. Actually, if you haven't had Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry recently, it's delicious.
I see it.
My cat has joined us in the basement studio. She never comes down here. This is really exciting, and y'all get to witness it. That's Luna. She lives on the second floor. Chilling. Like she lives in my bed. And she just came down here 2 stories down. Y'all.
And now she's
You know what? I'm so proud of her. She's so brave.
She's so brave.
As soon as we got the dog, she was just like, nope. And she effed out of there. And she's just been like living on the second floor since then. And it wasn't until a couple of weeks ago that she started coming downstairs to the first floor where we have the living room and the kitchen. And she just like wanders around and follows us. And she just came down to the basement. I'm so happy. Maybe she'll join me in my studio eventually. You remember how on Hack 5 we used to have Kirby the cat? And she would hang out on her. Yeah, she would hang out like on our set table and just lay down and chill while we were recording videos. Kirby passed away. I want to say like maybe 5 years ago or so. She was old. She had a really, really good life. So I'm over it at this point. But oh my gosh, amazing cat.
There was a video when you guys did the first pineapple video. And the cat came right behind the pineapple.
She was so cute. She always hung out with us on studio. And eventually, like, when she did pass away, that was the only time I've ever cried on camera. Like, I straight up cried. I couldn't help myself. Like, it was just so emotional. And everybody in the Hack 5 audience knew who Kirby was. And I was just like, I hated breaking that news. It was just heartbreaking. But I'm really hoping that Luna will come down here and hang out with me on my set. That would just make me so happy. She hasn't gotten to that point yet. I'm giving her time. I'm being really patient, but I just want to grab her and like set her on my studio table and be like, stay.
Put some morsels of food.
Oh my God. Yeah. Have her follow it to the studio table.
So
yes, I'm drinking beer.
What's yours?
Mine is called Mountain Time Premium Lager. It's from Fort Collins, Colorado. It's a local beer. I also really like.
Do you like IPAs?
I was going to tell you something. No, I don't like IPAs. I don't drink any IPAs. I got my start with beer on like Land Shark and Coronas at the beach. Very light beers. And then I started drinking Yuengling. And then after that, I just kind of fell in love with like Hefeweizens, lagers, any of those kind of lighter beers. I really, really like. Light colors, love it. So good.
So as I was saying, I started with like non-beer with your malt liquors, and then I came back.
Yeah, we all know you drink Smirnoff Ices. It's okay.
Yep, I did. I came back from the Air Force, and we're not going to say how old I was at the time. And I went to Permane Brothers in Pittsburgh. I was working at Best Buy, went down there, and they were like, the girl was like, hey, what do you want? I said, what do you got that's good? She said, Yingling Black and Tan. I said, I'll take a Black and Tan. It was the first beer I could ever drink without actually being sick.
Wow.
And so since that time, Yingling's been my go-to. Now, mind you, I can now drink just about any beer and be good. I've had IPAs, I've had lagers, I've had Coors Light, which I only drink because my parents drink it, so it ends up in my fridge on occasion. But I drink anything. And
Natty Boh.
Oh, look, unless it is my last resort. Like, that has to be the only beer in the fridge for me to drink Natty Light or anything, Icy Light, anything like that.
So, how can I talk in the comments? Do I have to get on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay. So I found this thing. It's called the Denver Pub Pass.
Yeah.
And it's like a passport for beer. And you go to, I think it's 24 or 32 or something like that. A very specific amount of different pubs and breweries that you can go to in the Denver area. And you go to each one and you get a free beer from each place. And that's one way of discovering a whole bunch of different breweries. So me and my friend both got pub passes at the beginning of this year, and we've already checked out like 5 or 6 different pubs and breweries. And oh my gosh, like I've gotten to try so many good local beers. Denver is amazing with beers.
It's got
There's a lot of
150 breweries around Denver.
150. Wait, how do you know this? Do you live near me?
No,
Where do you
live in Philly. But,
that's right.
Ex-wife is from Fort Collins.
Oh, that's why. Okay. I was wondering. I was like, how do you know this? I don't even know this. Yeah. So I'm slowly making my way around and trying all these different local beers. And that's kind of a new hobby of mine. I'm really enjoying it.
So I have a beer distributor. So look, everybody's states have different alcohol laws. In Pennsylvania, we have beer distributors. They sell only beer. Just so you're aware, you can't really get them in grocery stores around here. So I have a beer distributor, and what she started doing is mixing IPAs or craft beers or all these different like unknown companies. And so you can buy a 4-pack and try these different beers. And I was like, oh, let me do that.
Cool.
So you want to talk about some good like IPAs I have found and craft beers and stuff. It's all because of this distributor. Now, Kimberly mentioned it, and I've done it. The Epcot bar crawl, where you go around Epcot and drink.
I haven't done that yet.
Beer for every.
I want to do that so bad.
Do it, but make sure you have several bottles of water because of how hot it could be there. Just make sure you have your water because you'll be tanked by like the 4th one.
You're probably right.
It's bad, but it is very, very good, and I loved it.
Although I'm living at a higher altitude now, so maybe I would last longer than normal.
I mean, I drink on a regular basis. I'm a German leprechaun, if that helps any. German
leprechaun. Oh my god. I appreciate that.
I'm saying it's true.
So I think Gabriel's onto something. He mentioned that the Great American Beer Festival is coming soon to Denver, and now I want to go.
Are you going to buy me a ticket? I'll come out there, Shannon. I'll join you. Let's go.
Dude, how much money do you think I make?
Less than me.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, when we have our
discussed this, it's less than me. We have discussed this.
I have a lot of friends in the Infosec industry who make baller.
When we have our first Denver, because we have a Denver chapter now that we just opened. So when we come down, we're gonna do some beer drinking.
Oh my gosh, yes. I will take you out. Let's make it happen.
I do want to get there. So Shannon, one of these days, and it's gonna happen, we have a standing invitation whenever I come to Denver next time or you come to Pittsburgh, we are going to drink and have a good time because
yes,
I need to meet your husband for one.
Oh my God, you haven't met him yet.
I have never met Mr. Snubs. I follow him on Twitter, I think it is, but I have never actually met the guy.
You probably do. It's so funny because a lot of InfoSec people follow him because he's my husband. And they're like, I don't know him personally. None of them know him personally, but they still follow him just for like the dog pictures and the pictures of meat because he likes to cook.
Well, look, hey, nothing beats a good meat artist and dog pictures. Nothing beats it.
It's
Alyssa
perfect.
Miller puts out great meat art because she can smoke some meat. I started like nobody's business.
I started following Mr. Snub when he was building your studio.
My gosh, yeah.
So I was like just watching every video about the build.
Oh, thank you. That was so much fun. I still have a few videos that I need to post that I've just like avoided editing because I didn't feel like it. Lack of motivation. There it is.
I
know.
See, here's what's weird is I think it's because you do it full time.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually started it. Well, then again, we do things differently. You edit your videos for timing and like try to make it fit. I edit for effects and like to make it kind of outside of the norm of what you see in cybersecurity and tech. So like I've really started to enjoy video editing. I've got effects and all that stuff, but I get where you're coming from because like I look at my videos and people are like, oh, come down on time. Like it got to be this long. And I'm like, but if I do that long, I've got to cut this out and cut that out. And Robert, go fly a kite, Philly's garbage. But I again, I get where you're coming from though, because if you have to edit words and kind of make it match and make it sync up,
It's awesome, Kimberly.
Oh, Kimberly's awesome. It is one of those things where it's so hard. It is so hard to find the way to make those cuts and edits. Mine's easy. I just need to make sure my transition and my intro and outro look good. And maybe some lightning strikes, depending on the day.
I love it.
But
oh God. My dog's laying next to me and she just farted.
I got 2 dogs. Look, my oldest one does that. I'm like, yo, get the hell out of my living room right now. Go.
It smells like
just go.
Rotten eggs.
Right? Been there.
I'm just gonna smell my beer. That'll make me feel better. Oh, it smells so much better.
There you go. But yeah, I do. I completely understand the hardships to editing because and that's why I do these live, because I don't want to have to edit them.
I want to start doing live videos like this on StreamYard because it's so easy. The team at StreamYard, I got to meet them at a YouTuber conference last year. So cool, like really down to earth people, and they definitely care about what they're putting out there, and they keep on making updates and upgrades. So I can tell they care about their product.
On the first and third month or Saturday of the month, you can catch me on the StreamYard stream review with Christian and Charles.
Really?
So I work with them, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Well, I didn't. Okay, so
speaking of which,
not sponsored. I didn't even know that you had any kind of relations to the StreamYard people, but yeah, they're great. Good people.
Speaking of which, are you doing their nonprofit to pitch Raices to stream? They have this thing now. I just got the email today.
That's cool.
I just spoke to them, so we're gonna talk. I just sent a message to Gage this morning to see if we're gonna help them with the nonprofit group stream that they're going to have. So
that's awesome. Yes, I hope it happens.
Hey, just so y'all know, Alyssa Miller has entered the chat. So,
am I in trouble?
Well, we were talking about her meat. So,
hi, Alyssa.
We were talking about her meat art because she loves.
Alyssa and I are besties. I took her out to dinner. We had a date. It was great.
She needs to teach me how to smoke some meat because I made some chicken. I smoked it, and it was not I mean, it was good, but not the greatest. Eric, don't make that face. I'm not trying to be sexual. Do not get like that.
Keith also does a lot of smoking on his grill. He has a Traeger and loves the thing. Cooks on it at least a couple of times a week. It is so good. And it makes really, really like juicy chicken, amazing ribs. Ugh, everything is so good. Highly recommend.
So I want to get a Pit Boss. I have a Pit Boss, but I want to get a new one. It's a pellet grill. Well, pellet grill / smoker. And so I have found, look, unlike some people that have the patience to wake up at dark hunter in the morning and manage their wood in the fire and the smoke and make sure the temperature's correct, there's a new Pit Boss grill out that you can set the temperature and it manages it all for you.
Oh, that's cool.
I could, look, I'm going to set my temp and go to sleep. And just,
that's really
you know
cool.
What? I'm back. I'm out.
Yeah, Keith's one of those folks who wakes up in the middle of the night to start his ribs. Or start his, like,
is that
roast or whatever it is.
Right. Alyssa, is that a pellet grill or is it wood? I need to know. These are things I need to know. Is that pellet or wood? I gotta know. But yeah, so moving on to the next subject. Eric has the flag. You go almost every year when it's in person. Shannon, I have got to know about Defcon because I've never been, and I will not be there this year because I can't afford it. So tell me.
That.
I was at Defcon 2.
What?
Eric's been around since since Moses came back with the tablets. So don't. That's why.
You shall not pass.
So we're on what now? Defcon 30? Defcon 30. Is it 30? Aren't we supposed to have like some kind of prom this year? Because I'm looking forward to that.
Whoa, hold up.
Is it still happening? Because I'm buying a prom dress.
I'm buying the Slipknot outfit with the big one, and I'm gonna go on that one.
Oh my god, yes. I just want to buy a prom dress. I want to go to a prom store like the ones I used to go to in high school and pick out a cute little like $60 cheap prom dress and wear it to DEFCON.
This is bullshit.
I want to get a tiara. I'm gonna get one of those tiaras from Disneyland, the ones at the jewelry store.
And you mean you don't have one for sailor snubs?
No, I don't. I've never bought one. I know. What am I thinking?
Now I need to go. There's going to be a DEFCON prom this year. I have to.
Yeah, there's. It's called like Homecoming or something like that, which makes me wonder. Like, can we nominate a homecoming king and queen? Can I nominate? Oh my god, I would totally nominate Dark Tangent, obviously, and I would nominate Darren because he would hate it.
That's
I would troll him by doing that because he doesn't like that kind of like attention. I would totally nominate him.
He doesn't like that kind of attention, yet he has everything he has, and his name's all over the place.
And Alyssa says,
are you going to send Shannon a tiara now? You have to do it. Buy it and send it. I don't care if it's $5. Just buy that shit and send it to Shannon. Make sure
she doesn't want to. She doesn't want a $5 tiara. Come on,
hell
man.
Yeah, I do.
No one can afford a real tiara. Let's be honest here. We're all
dude. Like, so all the hotel rooms for DEFCON were technically sold out for the block. So I had to buy a regular rate hotel room, too. And I was just like, great. Hey, Hack 5, I'm gonna work at your booth. So at least that way I can get paid while I'm there. I was like, oh no, like there's no way I could afford that on my own. It's so expensive. Oh my gosh.
And that's why I haven't gone. Like, working for who I work for now, I work for a smaller company. So trying to get them to pay for like DEFCON or anything like that. I'm like, look, man, they're hooking me up as it is. I'm not gonna try to get them to pay for anything.
Yay. What's your confirmation number?
That's why I folded it.
Oh, okay.
I wanted it. I was going to use it and get to the airport before you.
I was going to be like, let's add my name to that and then delete the original name. But keep the same credit card.
There you go. Keep the same credit card. But no, I do. I wish. So one of these times I do got to get to Defcon. I want to get to Hacker Summer Camp. I want to go to Black Hat and Defcon and B-Sides Vegas solely because I've never been. I
so
know a
worth
lot
it.
of them have become commercialized and like it's all about the blinky lights and this, that, and the third. But I've never been. So for me, it's just the experience of getting to Vegas for the first time for Hacker Summer Camp and being able to meet all the people there. I've never met anyone in cybersecurity other than the people I work with in person.
DEFCON's where I've like created a hacker family, and it's one of the only places where I can go where I feel very much like welcome there. And a lot of times I'll go to conventions or go wherever, even other like hacker cons, I'll go to those and I don't necessarily feel super welcome there. And I don't know if it's because of the job that I'm in. Like it's very, very like put everything about you on the internet, which is completely different than what you should be doing in security. Or maybe it's because I'm a chick. I don't know. But a lot of times I go to DEF CON and I just feel like so welcome. Like everybody is super cool. The goons are awesome. Like everybody's so nice.
Come to B-Sides Pittsburgh.
I love B-Sides.
Come to B-Sides Pittsburgh. Look, I spent my time
I was one of the reasons why B-Sides has a code of conduct now.
But we do. So the organization I work for, the company I work for, does a lot of the people that work there, own the company I work for, do a lot of the planning for B-Sides. Oh. And so we are Pittsburgh anyways. And so we are very much ingrained in how things are run there.
Yeah.
So I've got to put on my best face, which doesn't work well when my coworkers keep giving me free drink tickets. But it's an amazing conference. We get a lot of good speakers. So look, if you're ever in town for B-Sides, I think ours this year is in June or July. Cool. It's not around Hacker Summer Camp. It might be close to, but we I love meeting people at B-Sides. That's the only like conference I get to is B-Sides Pittsburgh. Why, Eric? Why?
No. So Alyssa got blocked by the YouTube algorithm, so I had to take it, show it, and then put it here. But it was so good that I had to post it right here. So.
Look, I love Alyssa. Alyssa's like one of my faves. I ain't gonna lie.
She's out.
Shannon, I have got to ask. With everything you've got going on, what keeps you motivated to keep going?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Had you asked me this a couple of months ago, I would have been like, I don't know, man. I'm quitting. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, screw this. Everything is hard. I'm depressed. I don't want to do it. But now I feel a lot better. I think part of it is the ability to meet people. I think part of it is knowing that there's little girls who watch my tech content and want to get into the tech industry because they see another girl doing it. I've had girls come up to me and at DEF CON, perfect example, who I've talked to for like 20 minutes straight, just like sitting down outside of the Hack 5 booth, chatting with them, chatting away and like finding out what their dream job is. And it's always something that has to do with Infosec or like hacking. And it's just so cool. That's motivating for me. It's just knowing that there's people out there who see what I'm doing online and they're securing themselves online. Like they're fixing problems in their own personal lives when it comes to security and privacy. And maybe that I'm making them feel more confident to take care of those problems themselves, as opposed to trying to depend on other people to fix it for them. And it's these little kids who are interested in going into these industries, but they just don't know where to start. And oftentimes they find YouTube channels like the ones that we do. And all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I can do this. Like, that's what I needed. That's the first pieces of education that I needed to get into this industry. And then from there, they just take off. Like there's people that I've met when I first started working on Hack 5 who were telling me how they want to get into hacking and information security as a career, but they didn't know where to start. So they started with watching Hack 5's content and like watching my hack tips to learn how to use the command line. And then I talked to them 10 years later at the same convention, and now they're like running a booth or they have their own infosec company. Like I met one guy who has his own penetration testing firm now. And I was just like, blew my mind that people started with this tiny little, YouTube channel that I was running on. And now they're running these amazing firms and they're employing other people who are interested in this, and they're trying to diversify the industry based on what they're seeing on YouTube. They're seeing all this diversification happening, and they take that into the industry and they decide to mold their own careers and mold their own companies around what they're seeing online. And I like to feel like I'm a part of that.
Yeah,
hopefully
definitely.
That wasn't too long-winded of an answer.
No, it's actually a great answer, because I don't know how much of, with you pulling yourself away just to prevent burnout and get back in yourself, I don't know how much of my posts you have seen recently, but you yourself you were a huge inspiration for me to do what I do and to keep going.
You told me that.
And so to do these things, it's about finding those people you influence and those people that really appreciate what you bring to the table. And for you, look, I get it. You get a lot of hate. I know you do. I know the trolls come out in droves because you should
see my like blocked comment section.
Oh, it's crazy, right? I've seen some of the screenshots, right? Oh, you got a pink background. Guys are never gonna follow that. Why should I care? Because it's pink. Like, it's like, do you not listen to the knowledge that Shannon actually puts out there for you, or are you just an asshole? So I look at these things, and I've always admired you for your strength to step up and kind of be like, look, I know my shit. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and this is who I am, and you're going to take it or leave it. And then on top of that, the amount of knowledge you truly have was one of those things where I looked at and was like, you know what? No matter what I do, as long as one person appreciates what I do, that's all that matters for me. So truly,
even if it's just like one view on my channel and somebody says like, I love this video, like that's so cool to me. Like that's motivation. I don't need 1 million views. I don't care.
Right?
Like I don't need to go viral. I just want to make somebody's day, like, and hopefully pay my bills, of course.
But look, I won pins for you.
I love it. Yes. Oh, so great.
But I see all the hate, and it blows my mind, because I have actually listened, unlike a lot of people that tend to troll you for some ungodly known reason. I've listened to what you say, and actually I have asked you when you first got your iPhone, I was like, look, can you review it for me, please? Because I got one. I'd really like to know if it's better than Android. Like, I'd really like to know your thoughts, because I look to you for that type of knowledge of, okay, is this good? Is this bad? What's like, you get the experience that I don't get. Unfortunately, unlike you, I don't get Google to send me fucking phones, motherfucker.
I mean, on the one hand, yes, they do send me phones, but in return, I have to make that content. Like if I'm not making content, but it's totally unbiased. Like I've talked so much shit about their phones, like the fingerprint sensor on the Pixel 6. Oh my God, I gave it so much crap.
You burned the shit out of them on that one.
I did. I burned it. I was like, I'm sorry, guys, but no. It's like, what happened to this fingerprint sensor? Guys, come on.
But been some of the great
they respect
stuff you
that.
put out. Yeah. And I love it, because you do all these things, because you're willing to, like, you're not about bias. You are all about what is real. You won't even take sponsorships if you can't validate a product. Hence why I don't think you've ever taken a VPN sponsorship, just because you don't know where that.
Nope.
Are their logs legit? Are they deleting logs? You don't know, because you can't see. So it's like, screw you.
The only way I would take. Oh, go for it.
I've got a side note. So Keith and I are on Twitter going back and forth, and he just said, "Please keep it PG."
Wait, my husband?
Yes.
Oh God.
I don't know what that is.
We were told them we
hold
were reviewing his meat. So
Babe. Oh Lord. Somebody needs to send him the link so he can moderate the channel. No.
But no, I do appreciate everything you've done, Shannon, and everything you do for the community. You are a blessing. You are somebody who I think those who are aspiring to, whether it's be a content creator or get into Infosec or get into cybersecurity or IT, you give them knowledge that they may not otherwise find because of who you are.
And a lot of times it's knowledge that's like stuck behind a paywall or something normally. And like, for example, if you can't afford to go to college and you didn't have access to some kind of really good computer classes when you were in high school, where else are you going to find that information? You're going to go to the internet. And if you go to a forum and somebody tells you RTFM, that might not work for you necessarily. You might be a good learner when you watch somebody else doing a demo. And that's what I'm trying to do with people, is show them demos, show them reviews, like give them the clarity that they need to build their careers upon what they can find on the internet for free. And I like to think it's working.
I think it is. I do. I think you make an impact that, and again, it's unbiased. It's an impact onto anybody who wants to learn, anybody who wants, and you can even bring it out to general consumers of, hey, I'm looking for this phone, and they can look to your channel because 9 times out of 10, if it's a Samsung, a Google, an iPhone, you've reviewed it and been like, this is shit. You don't want this.
But most products, by the time it reaches the hands of an influencer, it's going to be a relatively good product. It's rare that I'll be like, yes, this is the best for everybody. There's always going to be some caveat where I'm like, if you're in this market, this would work really well for you. But if you're looking for like, different kind of camera set or maybe different battery life or whatever, then don't buy this product. It won't work for you. So there's always some kind of caveat that I like to include, even if I'm not that target market, just so people know, you would be disappointed if you bought this, but this other person would love this product.
And that's the big thing is knowing the different consumers. And I think you do a great job at that. So I will say that is, whether it's cybersecurity, technology, no matter what it is you do.
Oh my God.
Cyber Panda got on it. Yes. Clap for Cyber Panda. He already did it. I love it.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, that's incredible. I love it.
Look, if no one saw, Cyber Panda made me a certificate a while ago for doing absolutely nothing. I have to share it again eventually. I will send that out there and tag people. But yes, I do. I think you especially, Shannon, as someone who has inspired me, has done amazing things.
KevTech asked, does she review BlackBerry phones? I do not, but I have a friend in the tech YouTube industry who does. He goes by the name Tech Odyssey, so you should check him out. And see, that's another thing. Like, if there's not a product that I'm reviewing, or maybe I don't have the time to review it, or if you're looking from alternative perceptions or opinions about the product, there are so many YouTubers that you can look to for information. And a lot of us like follow each other on Twitter. So you can just like check out our follow list and find each other. Like, it's super easy because we're all kind of in this community together and we're talking about this stuff constantly.
And ask one of us on Twitter, because we will guide you to either Shannon or KevTech or John Good or any of the guys out there or gals that are doing this. And we'll say, there's the experts, or they have a video that did that. So, our community is not one of, just follow me, just follow me.
No. I actually recently had a girl block me in a different industry, not tech or infosec. It was in the very different industry, but she's a fellow YouTuber and she blocked me. And I heard that she was calling me a copycat to other people in our very small and very niche industry. So after I heard this, I was like, even though she started her YouTube channel after me and she took I think a lot of inspiration from what I was doing on my channel, I always supported her, like from the get-go. I was like, do you want recommendations on best fonts for your thumbnails? Like, what do you need? Like, I am a resource. I've been doing this for 13 years. I would love to help you grow, because when the tide rises, all ships also rise. And if she ends up being a really good influencer, then so will I, because people are going to be looking at our entire industry and finding other people naturally. So it was very surprising when I heard this from her, and I was just like, that's odd, which I've never experienced that in the tech industry ever, even though we've always done similar tech reviews. Like, I'm not the only Pixel 6 Pro review that you can watch on YouTube. Trust me, there's probably 300 tech reviews of the Pixel 6 Pro.
Roberto, I can't think of his
Roberto
last
Blake.
name.
Blake.
Yes. That man and so many others. But here's the thing, and this is what you do, Shannon, and I try to do, hence the ThreatWire gear today, is you and Roberto and myself and Eric and so many others, we promote so many other people. Like, if I don't know it, somebody else knows it.
Yep.
And so many people are afraid to do that, and so afraid of their own brand that they're like, oh, I can't. No, I know it or nobody knows it.
I see ThreatWire back there. I see ThreatWire down here. I don't see ThreatWire right here.
Oh, no, you
don't. I'm a patron. I ain't gonna lie. I support Shannon. I've been supporting Shannon for a few years. I get Christmas cards.
You're one of my. Yeah, you do. You get a Christmas card from me. You get swag.
Did you get one for me? You should.
Yeah, I did. I got your family photo. It was so cute. I save all of my Christmas cards. So no matter who sends them to me, whether it's family and friends, or if somebody sends one to my public address, I save all of the Christmas cards because I love getting them in the mail. It's always so sweet. I love them so much.
Yep. So yeah,
dancing grandma, ignore me.
That's for Eric. That's all Eric.
Well,
you know what it is, Shannon. You've seen the episodes. You know what it is. I still love. Look, I ain't gonna lie. So we're getting to the top of the hour. I ain't gonna lie. One of my favorite things about Shannon, as much as I love Dancing Granny, actually I prefer Dancing Robot personally. But
that's gonna be me when I'm 70. By the way,
now what I want you to do,
my hair is gonna be a rainbow.
What I want you to do is to actually look at the chat now. What happens when Dancing Granny comes out?
Second vote for Dancing Granny. Eric. Wait, where was my card from the Cyber Warrior? I guess I'm not left. Daniel, Shannon sent me one. I had her address, so I was able to send her one. Don't get it twisted.
My address is on my website. It's fine. It's a public address. It's not my house. It
was a PO box. I was like, I got you, homie.
So
there you go.
If you want to send, you can send me a Christmas card. That's fine. I don't care. I have to receive PR stuff somewhere, and I'm not giving PR my home address because those people don't know how to keep things from leaking. I mean,
everything is my PO box now.
I've had a PR company that I was talking to about sponsoring my channel who did a anonymous credit card. That's what they were known for. And they were talking to me about sponsorships. And I was like, this sounds cool. This is my audience. And then they replied back with a contract that was already filled out with another YouTuber's information, including their personal address, their home address, their rates. So I found out all of their rates, their email address, and their full name. And they did not disclose their full name anywhere on the internet. So I found out all this information about this person. They basically got doxxed by the sponsor. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? We're not going to work together.
No.
Sorry I missed out on those funds, but no. Sorry.
Nope.
Like if you can't take care of the people whose channels you're sponsoring, how can I trust you to keep your customers' information secure?
Exactly.
Nope.
And look, I love you guys, and I've always loved everything you do, Shannon. Truly, thank you for all that you provide to the community. You provide so much. I don't think you realize exactly how much you influence others sometimes.
Well, thank you.
Kev Tech, look, pizza and beer when you come to New York.
Yes.
I don't know if I ever go to New York. All right, I'm gonna try, but I don't know. It's up for debate, homie. Come to Pittsburgh first, and then we'll talk.
I would love to come to New York and have some pizza and beer.
Right?
Or you can come to Philly and go to the Yingling factory with me.
Bullshit. We're not going to Philly. Philly sucks. But no, Shannon, it's been a blast having you here, and I do appreciate everything you're doing. So before we get off air, before we kill this, go ahead, give us some last words for the audience.
Oh God. What kind of last words?
Anything.
Your technolust.
I can't do what a beer in my hand doesn't work.
Sailor Snubs says, trust your technolust. That's my last word.
There it is. I love it. Look, hey, for anybody wondering, you can always go to my YouTube channel, and in the description of this YouTube video, you will find all of the ways you can follow Sailor Snubs, Shannon Morse, every single way, as well as the video about her and how she got into Hack 5 and Threatwire and everything else like that, with the video with her and Davin Jackson. So please check the description for that. Cyber Papa, before I sign us off, go ahead.
Pew, 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 pew.
Okay, so Dancing Grandma for everybody again. Thank you very much to everybody that's supporting Raices and Shannon. Thank you very much for being here and for being such a good friend on
Thanks
Twitter.
for having me.
I can't wait to see you at Defcon. Please come to the Flamingo. We are going to be at the Black Girls Hack Village there by the red and blue team. Our villages are right behind us. So please come by. I'd love to. We're gonna have an interview booth right there. So we're gonna
perfect.
And we're gonna do on the fly streams when we're doing that. So come by and see us. Come join us over there at the Raices booth. And for anybody that doesn't know, raicescyber.org on Twitter. Thank you very much for your support.
Awesome. Look, check it out, guys. This is me, the Cyber Warrior, and we're getting ready to sign off. CyberWarriorStudios presents Security Happy Hour. And I just want to say I love every single one of you. Everyone. Keep doing amazing things. Keep being awesome. And to be completely honest, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. So until next time, take care. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you all next week.